Hello, everyone, and welcome to another interesting episode of the Reflection series, the series where we listen to stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. And today we have a wonderful guest speaker all the way from India, Sister Manju. Sister Manju has been with the Brahma Kumaris spiritual organization since 1974 from a very young age and has dedicated herself to the service of humanity since 1982. She has traveled extensively in India and abroad and has participated in and organized national and international conferences, seminars, workshops, and talks. She has spoken and given interviews on radio and television channels. She was a spiritual counselor, and for the past 30 years, she has been based in the Brahma Kumaris world headquarters, which is in Mount Abu, India, serving in different capacities. So, a lot of wisdom and experience that she carries. And the title of the sharing or the story that she would be telling us today is Learning to Lead a Clean Life, in which we will hear few short stories about the ability to learn, no matter how people may be. Also, some aspects about how we carry waste or burden in our minds. And lastly, how can we see benefit in everything in our lives? So, very deep topics, but let's hear it in the form of a story. So, we are very happy to have you in this program today, Sister Manju. A very
Thank you.
hearty welcome, and it's over to you to share your story with us today.
Thank you, sister. A good morning from India and a lot of blessings from India, Mount Abu. It's a beautiful place, one of the hill stations in the northern part of India. So today I'm going to share little small stories, 3 stories. The first one is this is a real story. It's not a story, friction, but it's real. There was a family in Ahmedabad, and this family, husband, wife, and 2 boys, 2 children. Husband, wife, they were from a poor family, and then this father used to was a used to drink a lot of alcohol. He was alcoholic, and every day little money he gets, he go and drink alcohol, and come home, shout at children, shout at wife, and hit the wife, and speak all sort of language. And so that's how these 2 children grew up. And one of the boys became an IAS officer. And there was the first interview after he took over the charge as an IAS officer. uh, he was being interviewed, and in the interview, the media person asked him, how did you become an IAS officer? Because we heard your family background. Your father was a drunkard, you came up from such family. And wonderful thing he said was, because of my father. And the media people also invited his family, his brother, his father, and his mother actually after some time died. But then the father and the brother were invited also to be the part of the interview. And the first he said, we will interview your older brother. He was the IAS officer, was a younger brother. So he became an administrator of a little state, so little city. So the older brother was first interviewed, and older brother was exactly like his father. He became a drunkard. He used to hit his wife, hit his children, speak all, the bad language. He had a very foul mouth. So the first he said, you interview my brother. So my brother was interviewed. The brother said, why are you a drunkard? Your little brother is a IAS officer and you become a drunkard. He said, it's because of my father. Ever since, I was little kid, I always saw my father, drinking, and he stole money. He sold many of our properties. He used to sell away things at home, and he used to hit my mother, shout at her, and shout at us. So that's what I learned, because that's how I grew up. That's what I was been seeing all the day, in and out, and in the night. We never had peaceful sleep. So that's how I grew up. So I have no more, nothing much to speak except this. So he said, over to the younger brother. He was an IAS officer. So the media person asked, the interviewer asked, how you became an IAS officer when your brother became a drunkard like your father? He said, because of my father. He said, your father was a drunkard? He said, yes. But you speak very sweet. He said, yes, because of my father. Everything, all the good nature he had and the beautiful language he had, and he never ever used to speak such language or speak such words that used to hurt anybody, either in the family or in his professional life. His subordinates, he would never speak such words. So he said, because of my father. Then the interviewer asked how. He said, every time my father used to come home and shout or hit, I I had that determined thought, I will never do this in my life. Because I still realize the words he used, the behavior he had is hurting his children, hurting his wife, hurting neighborhood. Then I had this determined thought, I learned I will never do this when I grow up. I will never hurt my wife when I grow up and I get married. I never behave this way in front of my children, that I will never become responsible to spoil my children's life. I will never do that. Everything my father did, I made a mark, and I made a promise. Rather, like it was a determined thought in myself that I will never do this. So everything my father did was a lesson for me, because he showed us leading such life, behaving in such way, what sort of atmosphere people will create, what sort of a lesson they carry, for people, and what sort of a feeling it gives in terms of relationship. And eventually the wife died. So many times in human life, we blame situations, we blame people, we blame our family, we blame people with who we live. But actually speaking, this story I liked very much. It touched when I, heard this interview, or happened to hear this. Um, Actually, we don't have to blame situations. We don't have to blame people. If we have the ability to learn, we can learn from any odd situation, any, negative situation. And that's the reason it is said, uh, the lotus is born from the dirt, from very, very, dirty place. So it is up to us what I look at. Should I look at the dirty mud there? Or should I look at the pure lotus that is offered to, deities, or offered to God, offered to people who they love? So it is within my attitude, it is within my vision to correct or to see what is right for me to lead a better or clean life, number one. So this helped me to, to see things, my priorities, my preferences, uh, what what things, people should I give importance to. Because world is like a supermarket. We have everything, bad, good, negative, positive, right, wrong. But it is up to me to make a choice. God, we are given the ability to make a right choices. So if I make a right choice, if I give importance to right things, so I get the power, I get the energy of the right. Yes. If I choose the wrong thing, then I become a wrong person. So righteousness is not the society, the people, the family, everything is perfect and I become a righteous, I become a nice person. No. If I want to be, I can be right, I can be good, I can be divine even in a wrong situations. And another story is like there was this monk, a very famous monk, and he had few followers. This monk used to travel from one place to another place. He used to address gatherings. So he used to be invited. Many people used to invite him. So he had few followers who used to all the time follow him wherever he goes. So one of his trips, he was going, and then he had to cross a little river. And there was this young lady who was struggling to cross because she was not able to cross. And in the monk community, there was a discipline that they should not touch any female. So this monk saw this, this lady struggling, and every time she used to fall in the water, and she used to come out and again fall again. So he thought, let me help this lady. So he carried that lady on his back, and then he crossed the river, and he put the lady on the other bank of the river, and he left. But then the followers, and especially one of the followers, he felt very bad, said, you are our guru, and then you touched that lady. So, but he didn't had that guts to uh, tell this to the guru, to the monk, the master. All the way, he was carrying that in the mind. How can this, my master could do this? We follow him in every walk of his life, and he is the teacher. He's supposed to teach nice thing, and he always teaches nice thing. And how could he do this? So the whole travel finished. They have been traveling all over, and the trip finished, and they came back to the minister. And in the monastery, this guy was, very sad and sitting in the corner, and all the time very disturbed. He was very disturbed in doing everything. So this master, the monk, he observed and he called him. He said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "Master, I can't digest. How could you touch that young lady? Because this is the primary, one of the most important principles that we have, and you you know you disobeyed that principle. And how can you be the master?" And this master smiled and he said, "I left the lady long back on the other side of the bank, but you are carrying that lady in your heart all the while. I just forgot because I just have to help her. If it would have been man, I would have done the same. If it would have been child, I would have done the same. Even if it would have been any animal struggling to cross that little river, I could have done the same. So for me, there is no difference between an animal or female or male, but you have the consciousness and you're carrying that burden all the way throughout the journey. And you haven't let her go from your mind. But I let her go long back, and I didn't even see her face. I didn't even feel the touch. But you made your mind very impure because you're I carried her physically, but then you carrying her in your mind. So your mind has become impure. So many a times in life, we carry situations, negative things in the mind. Many times the situation finished long back, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. People carry, negative things from 20 years also. I've seen a person when I was in Guyana. I every time everywhere I go, I used to, I used to arrange a program in rehabilitation center. So I met this man. He was like he was in his 80s, and he was put in rehabilitation center. He started drinking alcohol when he was like 13 years, and now he's 80. I mean, then he was 80. So doctor said, if you drink more, we can't save you. I asked him, what's wrong with you? Why do you drink? He had just one thing in his mind. He said, my father never loved me. If he never loved me, when he didn't want to love me, then why did he, give me birth? My father didn't love me. Father didn't love me. I, I said, what are you doing? You're drinking, you become a drunkard, and you are spoiling your life. What are you doing with your children? I said, I never thought about it. Been carrying this feeling that my father didn't like. He didn't know anything. He was like 4 years old. I don't know what situation what incident in particular he saw, and what made him think that was a different story. But then he was been carrying this ever since he was 13 and 4, and then he started drinking, and then he was 80 then, and then he used to cry, and that feeling, deep feeling in his heart, that negative feeling, I didn't get father's love. So many times in life we carry something, whether it is right or whether it is false. It was maybe misunderstanding, or it may be illusion, whether it is real or not real. We carry certain things assuming it to be real. Excuse me. And we allow our life to spoil. We allow our mind to, spoil. And we have such beautiful life to lead. We have this beautiful body, beautiful mind to think, enjoy the joy of life, enjoy the nature, enjoy the beautiful relationships rather. But we always carry that burden of negativity or assumption, you would say, or something that hurt, a feeling of hurt, or we hurt ourselves more than others hurting us. And that burden will never allow us to be at peace. This burden never allow us to have that life of ease, will never allow us to have that peaceful, a life of joy. So nature, God has showered upon us a beautiful, beautiful, a blessed life, but we miss that bliss. We miss those blessings. We miss the joy. We miss that pleasure because of the mind is preoccupied with the wrong notions. And this third story I would like to share is about a young man. This young man, he was very disturbed in his life. He was very stressed out. He was very stressed in his family. He was too much stressed in his profession life, and he wanted really, really, very badly. He wanted to have a peace of mind, and he was looking for somebody who can teach him to lead a peaceful life, or to relax, or to get rid of his stress or tension. So he came to know about this well-known guru, so called as guru. He used to teach very nice things, but most of the times he used to be very quiet. This guru wouldn't talk much, but then he used to teach such lessons for life. So somebody told about this very well-known guru, and then this young man went to visit him, and this guru was sitting in deep meditation, eyes closed, and this young man went and sat in front of him nearly for an hour for him to open his eyes. And when he opened his eyes and he said, I'm in stress, I'm very peaceless, I get angry, I'm impatient, so please help me out to get that, peace of mind. And I've done this in life, I've done this, I've done this, so but I couldn't get any results, so I've come to you. He said, but you should be very dedicated to what I preach you. I said, fine. He gave him a basket, and he said, go and fetch water. There was a little river, um, just like little far away from his hut. So he said, go and fetch water in this basket. I said, what? How can I get water in a basket? A few steps later, all the water will flow away, I can't carry water till here. So this is the first thing that you have to do. Obey my orders. So this guy took this basket and, the basket where we put some bread or put some, so that sort of basket he was given. And then he carried that basket to the little river, few steps, like, maybe some 200 steps away from the little hut. And 3-4 steps from the river, all the water gone. All the water leaked. He used to go and get the water. So he never, could reach the hut, even with one drop of water. This went on and on, weeks and months. And now it was like 7-8 months. He was tired. One day he came to the master, to the guru, and he said, look, it's been 8 months now, and you've been doing just one task, taking this basket, going to the river, take the water, and few steps, water is gone. I don't think I should really continue doing this, because I see no benefit in just carrying the water. I don't know what lesson it is in life. And this guru said, you've been carrying water for the last 8 months. Now look at the basket. And he never given little attention towards the basket. After every day using that in the basket, using the basket in the water, the holes in the basket have come together. They were almost in a few holes have closed, because that will expand as is soaked in the water. That wood would become soaked, and it will expand, and the holes in between the basket would close after some time. So doing the same thing every day, you assume that it will not help you, but actually all the holes, all the little things, glitches in life, little so-called as habits, that will automatically, effortlessly, we will overcome. Listening to the same discourse, doing the same prayers, we think it's so monotonous and we're not getting anything out of it. But actually, because I'm very persistent in doing the same action every day, I'm obeying it, I'm doing it, religiously rather, it somewhere would help internally. Many times we see for the results outside, so a big change will happen, big that will happen, big this will happen. Not necessarily. Even to get that big change, we have to go through those small little holes need to be, filled. If I have to climb the fifth floor, it will always starts from step one, then two, then three. One step after I climb the steps and I can reach the first floor, then second floor, then the third floor. So any big task will begin from one step, from one step. So after I climb, I think, oh my God, I'm so tired climbing the stairs. But just see back, you've climbed one story, two stories, three stories. You've covered this big distance, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time can lead us to a very big, great destination in life. So never get tired doing good things in life and say, oh my God, we've been doing this for so long and nothing, I don't see any result. Don't have to see that big result, don't have to see that big change. But when you just see within, deep within, I can see those little holes, that little, glitches, that little things that I've been having and I couldn't overcome those, shortcomings. They have automatically, I've overcome without me realizing it. Because going to the hermit every day, going to that guru every day in the morning, I have to wake up every day in the morning. So I've developed a habit of waking up early in the morning. And I was very lazy to walk. So now I walk every day from the hermit, from the, from the home to this guru, from his cottage hut to the river. I walk, so I do walking. So these little things I develop, and this also counts for the big results. So these are the 3 little stories I thought I would share with you. And it helps in life. Sometimes not only the children, but even the older ones get fed up, get tired, feel monotonous doing the same thing every day. They feel it's so ritualistic. We have to understand things in life and just go one step within. And then I find within my being, I see my reflection, see my real face, which is so clean, which is so pure, which is so nice. And to get down there, little steps are very, very necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sister Manju. It's been so beautiful and so sweetly with these little stories. You have shared such deep wisdom, which I think all of us need at every step in our lives, because we never know what situations we may face. But if we have such learnings, then it really helps us come out of bad situations, or we can keep going and reach our goal in life. So thank you so much for sharing. And as we know, you have been a meditator for such a long time. If I could request you to give our viewers a little meditation experience by speaking a commentary for a few minutes, that would be wonderful.
Thank you. Take a deep breath and sit in a position that makes you comfortable. This is a very special meditation called as Raj Yoga. And the speciality of Raj Yoga is opening eyes, keeping the eyes open. It's also called as opened eye meditation. So please keep your eyes open. Take a deep breath. Sit comfortably. Meditation is just a thought followed by the feeling. I feel every thought I think. Raj Yoga meditation is an experience, experiencing my potentials hidden deep down within my being. I become aware of those potentials. Every time I remember the potentials, I tap them so that I can use them in my daily life for my betterment and the betterment of others. The first thought, as I go one step within, I feel a pure energy, a spiritual energy behind my eyes, in the center of my forehead. I become aware of that spiritual energy, the pure energy, source of my life. I identify myself with that energy. And so I am pure, spiritual energy living in the center of my forehead. In my real nature, I'm peaceful. I'm pure. I'm very strong. I have the ability to do what I want to do. I also have the ability to stop what I don't want to do. Because I'm the master of my sense organs. I am the life energy. As I walk, talk, move, I remember my original nature. I remember my real spiritual identity. That keeps my self-respect intact. I'm peaceful, pure, and very strong. But flexible. Feel all these as I think again and again. mind becomes calm, free from all waste. I can feel the flow of pure energy that rejuvenates me. I feel recharged. Take a deep breath. Holding on to the same consciousness, even whilst in my normal, regular activities. Shanti.
Very much, Sister Manju. It's been lovely, and thank you also for this beautiful experience through meditation. So, thank you for all the viewers for joining in today. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website www.brahmakumaris.org.au. All the details of our centers and programs are listed in there, so you are welcome to pay a visit. And as always, we will meet you again in another interesting episode with some new story and a new inspiration. Till then, take care and keep learning at every step in your life. Thank you very much.